Hey guys, this should be a pretty short one. I'm going to show you PathDeform, which is it's kind of related to the last tutorial I did on the tank treads, but it's a different way of deforming things on a path. So what I've got here is like just quickly made an octopus tentacle. I guess it's pretty janky, but it'll demonstrate the point. What we're going to do is we've modeled this straight, right? Because if you were going to model something like this, you'd probably do it straight first, and it'll be a lot easier to UV map and all that kind of stuff, and it'll be a lot easier to just model things straight in general. So if you're going to do something like wiggly, like a tentacle, right? Like that's just an example, but something like this, model it straight first, and then deform it with a path. And I'm going to show you how to do the deform it with a path part. So you'd have all this UV'd first, and the cool thing about the path deform is we can just like draw a line with splines, right? So that's the path I want the tentacle to follow, right? I can just I'll make a copy of this just so I've still got the straight one. It's a modifier. It's right at the top in all these world space modifiers. You go, where is it? Path deform. Then you go pick path, and you pick the spline. Okay. The default settings are going to have it all janky because it's not positioned exactly how it likes, and it's a little bit temperamental. If you just click move to path, it's all good, son, it's all good. We got this guy going on that path. Because the angles are a little bit extreme, it will actually stretch the mesh. This is why when we were doing the tank tread, we didn't want to use a path deform, because it would actually stretch the structure of the mesh. It will just do whatever it needs to do to fit that path. If you need these things to stay the same size, you're going to need to find some other solution. But for something that can be squishy and stretchy, there's nothing wrong with that. So we have a few parameters here as well. We can go %, and that'll actually like sort of worm its way along the path, and you can pick exactly where on the path it's going to be. I'm pretty sure you can animate this as well. So if I was to go set key, right, and I might have to go auto key on that guy. Auto key this. So if I go up like this, yeah, it's actually keying that. So you can key this for animation. This won't export. It'll only be good for renders, but if you wanted to animate like a worm or something going along a path, you can key all those values. Okay, so that's how people often do like a snake slithering along or whatever. Okay, we're going to turn off auto key so that doesn't mess around with that anymore. The other things are, other than %, which will just slide it along the path, there's stretch, which will it'll literally stretch it as if you were scaling it along the axis of the path, but it'll go along the path, of course. Like it's hard to put that into English, but you can hopefully see what it's doing there. Okay. There's also rotation. Rotation's pretty handy because this one doesn't look too good when the suckers are all the way out there. If we rotate it around like that a little bit, it might look a bit better, a bit less deformed and broken. Okay, and twist. Twist is the other one. That'll mean that the start of the path doesn't have this rotation applied, and the end of this path has that amount of degrees of rotation. And anything in between, it'll be some amount of that rotation towards the end. So it'll actually literally just twist it. It's like the twist modifier, but it goes along a spline rather than along a straight line. Okay? So you could do like a cool little, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight line and stuff. So that's pretty much what you can do with this modifier. Another cool kind of thing is if I was to turn this to X-ray mode, I think if I go ahead and edit this line, right, it will actually, yeah, I can do all that kind of stuff, and the tentacle will just follow along with whatever I'm doing. It's a slave to the spline. Okay, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to really go into. We've gone for about 3 minutes anyway, so that's all good. And of course it's got this on there. If you were to turn that off, it would just set it back to its pre-bind to the spline settings. Turn it back off. X-ray, I don't know, whatever. Hopefully that's enough to go on. Later.